And market watchers expect investors to continue to rotate their portfolio towards stocks that have reported strong earnings, as profit takers are likely to book profits this week. Ekene Oyeka, Securities Trader at Norrenberger, joins me now for more market updates. Ekene, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's get right to it. Well, we've been talking earnings in the last 2 weeks or so, and we've seen some good numbers. We've talked to a couple of us CEOs and CFOs, just taking us through the numbers and just how the business has performed in the reporting period. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on the numbers that you have seen so far, the story that the numbers tell, and also, importantly, outside of the banking sector and telecoms companies, which earnings caught your attention?
Basically, part of the earnings that really caught our attention mostly are the consumer goods, right? We saw a large numbers of results. There's their 9-month results. We also saw the performances. Nevertheless, even regardless of the profit that was being declared, we saw the likes of War Cement, the likes of Dangote Cement, and also Lafarge had issues in terms of the FX losses that you actually experienced. However, this could be as a result of the second quarter reformation in terms of the electionary came into place, and we saw a lot of reforms in the government policy, in the likes of the removal of the subsidy and also the unification of the exchange rates. Regardless of all that, they've been able to pull strong to a large extent. The results that came out really proved a little bit of excitement in the market.
Now, typically, when the earnings season ends, we see that we see things settling down on the market. We see more profit taken, sometimes, etc. Do you think that things could be different this time? I say that pointing to the developments in the FX market. We're seeing the Naira strengthening. We're seeing the CBN clearing FX backlogs. Is that something that could keep or help the market sustain momentum of the rally?
Yes, to a large extent, it's going to do that because this may also, we've seen the induced improved foreign portfolio investment inflows on the bourse, which has already declined to as close as 0.11 trillion, representing a fall by 31.9%. However, we intend to see more profit taking in the market this week on the bourse of the exchange, regardless of the news that came from the CBN government in terms of the FX backlog. And of course, we intend to even see more participation, more interest also in the market coming this week.
Now, at the beginning of the year, things were very uncertain, obviously for obvious reasons, because there was an election. No one could predict, how that was going to impact on the market and what kind of policy reforms were going to follow thereafter. Just last week, we saw the NGX hitting, the highest level on record, over 70,000 points. Would you be reviewing your year-to-date performance for the market for this year at the year close? How are you reviewing in terms of the all-share index and performance of the market in terms of where it's going to end this year?
Yeah, we've seen what all-share index did last week, and also the basic points that got to 70,000 was the highest so far in the market. It's poses a lot of in terms of confidence, in terms of portfolio restructurings of most investors, right? Because what this tells you is that we are beginning to see more of domestic participation in the market, and also in terms of liquidity inflows, we've been able to see a little bit of listings are coming into the market, and also more participation coming in from those aspects. However, going forward, we see what the government is trying to do. We're trying to see the reforms they are trying to put out there, and also the kind of stability they are trying to create in terms of taking this and moving the macros forward. But I must tell you that the market is actually reacting to this particular news, also the level of stability that this is going to both investors in the market.
Now, as you know, the earnings were mixed. There were winners and then there were losers. So which names come to mind for you in terms of those pain points that you saw? I mean, we did see some cost of finance going up for some, operational costs, elevated, FX losses, etc. I mean, what is your forecast for these companies going forward in terms of how they maneuver the environment and how investors feel about having those stocks in their portfolio?
Regardless of what has really happened due to the FX losses that most of these cheap stocks that the likes of Nestle has actually experienced in the markets, over the past 5 years, we've seen significant dividend payments in these stocks. Regardless of the wins in the economy, those stocks have actually proven strong in terms of resisting whatever sentiment that can hit them. We've seen their operating costs and also their profit earnings and also their profit margins too over the years. So it looks very good in terms of these stocks looking very good in the portfolio. However, investors more appetite in terms of their risk sentiments they can be able to put through in their portfolios.
All right. What is your forecast for trading for the rest of the week, and what would be your top stocks or stocks on your radar for this week?
Yeah, so we've seen we're going to experience a little bit of profit taking this week, also price corrections in the market. However, we're going to see some restructuring also of the portfolios and seeing investors coming into some stocks. So I'll start with the consumer goods. One of the stocks I'm recommending there is Transcorp. That's for the common grower, sorry, Transcorp. Then consumer goods, looking at Nestle. The financial services, looking at Fidelity and Kitco. For the telco, MTN Nigeria, and industrial, looking at Baku.
All right, finally, is there any market moving news that the markets will be keeping an eye out for this week?
It's more or less, looking at what most of the macros are actually talking about, and also some economic news that are going to hit the markets. Obviously, what really drives the markets are informations and also fundamentals that are very key to this test. So we're expecting to see more of these policy reforms hitting the market and also some kind of level of pronouncement from the CBN.
Right, okay, Ekene, thank you for talking to us today. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed. Ekene Oyeka, Securities Trader at Norrenberger.